Gabby LaRue, musician, composer and music producer, 43 years in the South African music industry. I also represent TUMSA, the trade union for musicians of South Africa. I'm talking to you about the Copyright Amendment Bill, the current draft, which is in front of our President Ramaphosa for signature. We believe that our President has been handed a bill by the previous Parliament that is not doing what it set out to do. The bill is based on two previous reports, the MITT report and the CRC report, both calling for certain amendments which was aimed at benefiting the creative industries. In 2015, when the first draft of these amendments were published, we as a sector were very optimistic about some of what it set out to do. We have to bear in mind technological advances, the internet, digital marketing, social media, and the total change in the distribution channel of creative material worldwide. However, what started as a bill that was set out to protect creators, it has turned out to be a bill that makes it easier for users of copyrighted material to infringe on that copyright. Behind all of this are the digital platforms, Silicon Valley, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and the like. I'm not here today to demonize these digital platforms. We all need them. But they also turned out to have been the biggest copyright infringers in history. In 1998, a bill was passed by the US Senate called the Online Copyright Infringement Liability Limitation Act. The digital platforms wanted to protect themselves from any legal suits by people whose copyright was infringed on these platforms. That may have been a good idea at the time, but 20 years down the line, it turned out that these laws are now making it easy for these platforms to infringe copyright. Recently, we've seen the European Parliament issuing directives to curb that. Yesterday, the 25th of July, the Australian government announced that they are looking at directives to curb the influence of Google, Facebook, YouTube and the other digital platforms on the flow of news and information globally. When that flow is controlled virtually by one company globally, it leaves it open for manipulation, for bias, for fake news, for wrongful information, for infringement of copyright. For us as a new nation, we as musicians are 100% for transformation. We as a South African music sector have been working across the apartheid barriers for decades. People were writing freedom songs. People were singing out against apartheid. Now, those very rights are threatened. Those very rights that we as composers and authors should have as economic opportunities to make a living in our profession are now under threat. The new amended bill allows for fair use exceptions, which borrow from the previous fair dealing exceptions, which were well specified, well thought through. Now they've just added such as in front of it to make it more vague, so that anyone can infringe copyright and then claim fair use. And it would then be up to individual composers and authors to challenge that in court. Courts are expensive. How would we possibly do that? For an individual to fight Google or other such mighty organizations, it's like an ant fighting an elephant. It's not viable. It's not just. We ask you, our leader, Mr. Ramaphosa, please consider this bill in its current draft. There are many good things that this bill includes currently, which we want to retain, such as the regulation of collection societies. We believe that's necessary. We want greater protection for our composers and authors, not less. We ask you now, please, our leader, send this bill back to the new, fresh Parliament. Let them have a look specifically at the issues that are contentious, so that we can make sure in a year or 18 months' time, when you are ready to sign this bill, that it's a bill that all of us can be proud of. Thank you.